Hey y'all, Editing Kimberly here. Welcome to my channel, A Chance to Sparkle. I hope you're doing well. And welcome to my series on how to create your own art portfolio for under $20. This is part 2 of the series, and there will be at least one more part, possibly two. In this part, I'm going to be showing you how to attach the braided handle. And down below you will find a link and a little explanation on how I made the braided handle. Please go to that link and follow how to braid a bracelet, but there will be some modifications you are making in order to create this handle, and all of that will be explained down below. But I'm going to show you how to attach it. I'm just not going to show you how to braid it. The person in the video can show you how to do that much better than I can. So anyway, let's get on with the video. This piece. Now we are going to put on the handle, and I want the handle to go in about the same place that I put this one. So we need our little tape out, and I need to listen to myself and put my X-Acto knife back up, and I'm going to pull out the measuring tape, and I'm going to measure about how far down I have it. It's just at like the 2 1/4 mark is where the holes are. And then for distance apart, they're right at 5 inches apart. So you're going to want to put it in about the same place on the other side. You don't have to be perfect, but you want it in about the same place. So 5 inches for the inner, 6 3/4 for the outer. So each one of these is about 1 inch apart from one end to the other on the outer side. About 1 inch apart on each one. So 6 1/4, 5, and right at 2 down. 2 1/4 down. Make sure that's the way it is on both sides. Yep, right at 2 1/4 down. So we'll put this one back away again. Oh, one other measurement I need to know. How far is it from the end? It's right at 6 3/4 and about almost 6 3/4. So let's measure out about 6 3/4. I'm going to pull my pen back out. Measure approximately 6 3/4, about where I think 2 inches down would be. And then I'm going to go this way and find the 2 inch mark, 2 1/4. I'm not that far off. So right at the bottom of this piece of tape is about where I'm going to cut. And then I want it about right around in here, I think. Let's see, yep, right about in there. So it's going to be right about in here for the outer edge of that one, I think. That would put it about 6 3/4 apart, more like 6 1/2 apart. So I want the inner part to be here and about here. So we're going to mark all of our little spots, and I want it to go to about here. So I'm marking that and marking this. That's where I'm going to actually make a really nice cut at. So now we're going to need our box cutter back out. And I'm going to slice through all the way down. And all the way across this 1-inch mark. I'm going to be cutting out just the tiniest of rectangles, basically. Okay, cut on that side. You're cutting it really, really thin, just a couple millimeters deep. You just want it barely wide enough to be able to push the, and you might have to hunt where it is over here, if it even went all the way through. I'm not sure it went all the way through. Yeah, I'm having trouble feeling where it is so far still. So, make sure you push a little bit more, try and make sure we get all the way through where we can find it on the other side. And if you want to, take your X-Acto knife and kind of push it out a little bit. Lift it up and break through that tape, because that's part of the problem, is the tape on the back side. But you need that tape for reinforcement purposes, since you're cutting out these holes. Ha, now we found it. And I'm going to dig as much of it out. You'll probably make a mess here, but we're going to tape over it. I made a mess on the other one, but it still looks nice and neat now. Here we go, got most of that out. Clean it up a little bit on this side, make sure it's all get all that foam core to poke out. Sorry, I'm going off camera a little bit here. I'm just making sure it's clean on the edges, and I have to get it up a little bit closer to my poor eyesight to see. Okay. Now you can see you got 2 holes on either side right here. I don't know if you can see my fingers through it, but there's a hole on either side right here, and that's where your handle is going to go. So let's grab the handle. And one side you can see I've already got is separated and it's been cut and melted. The other side I had not cut it yet because I wanted to actually show you this on camera. So I'm going to get the lighter and the pliers, and I need my scissors. And you can tell I have a problem when I pick up my scissors and there's a cover minder attached to it. So cut it right in the middle, And you see, this is what begins to fray. And the more you touch it, the more it frays. So this is what you're going to want to melt. Let the white melt up first, and then let it kind of melt into the black. And see right there, a little bit of smoke will come out. But there you go, it's all nice and melted up. Be careful when you touch it really quickly. If you're a child, let your parents do it, because it is really warm when you first, for the first like 30 seconds or so. Sometimes it catches on fire. Blow it out if it does. I pulled a piece out. That's where it's still a little bit too hot when I touched it. But I'm okay, no burns. Make sure it's not going to fray anymore. So now you're going to have 2 open pieces. And this is the reason you didn't knot it on the end, because you'd have this really big wide knot right there. And you don't want that, because you're going to want to be able to push these through and make a connection on the other side. We're going to do what is called fusing. So you're going to get it the way that you want it, and I want mine to lay down this way. So I'm going to push these through, and you may need to take your pliers and use them to coax it through to the other side, and then lift up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but pull it on through like so, so that you've got it down as far as you can down in there. But you don't want it all the way, because you want to keep it separated, because you're going to put tape right here and reinforce that hole so that it doesn't just pull right back out. And then same thing over here. We're going to push it through. I don't have as much to play with over here. I should have left a little bit bigger loop, but we will make do. So there's what it is going to look like when it's on there. You're going to pull these out as far as you can to the edges, and then you can bring back these 2 little pieces that you pulled off. They're not quite narrow enough, so take your X-Acto knife. I think you can still see what I'm doing. Cut a little bit of it off. And I go ahead and just put that little piece in there, just as an extra added piece. It doesn't matter how it lays down. But then this piece that you cut off right here, be a little more exact with it. And lay it down in between the 2 so that it keeps it separated right there. And then do the same thing with this one. This one was a little wider. We can almost cut it in half. A little bit over half. Take the more narrow piece and lift it up first. And put it in between these 2 pieces, which these 2 pieces, it's going to be a little bit harder to slide it in, because like I said, there's not as much to play with over here. And hopefully I won't pull it back through completely, because I'm just about done that. Lay that one down, and then lift this one up, and try to keep it from sticking to itself, and lay it down. That way you got good reinforcements on this side. And flip it over, and we're going to kind of do the same thing over here. Pull these back through where you pulled them out the other side, and cut you off a little bit of tape. Get some of these pieces out of the way you're not going to need right now. Still going to need the lighter, still going to need that, so I'm going to put them up there. Right now I don't need the measuring tape, and I don't need the scissors. So lay the tape down on your cutting mat. Cut you off a small piece to go in between. And lay in between the pieces. And then cut off another piece. Now, if you can think of a better way to do this, go ahead. If you can have a way to punch holes, then by all means punch holes and just slide them through and keep the foam core in between. I don't have a way to punch holes, so I did not punch holes. Now that you've got those separated and it reinforced just a little bit in between, I'm actually going to put another piece actually on both sides of this. Just to make it a little bit heavier right there. And again, I'm trying to stick the tape to itself. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm sorry I'm shaking the desk like crazy, but it is what it is. Now we need our scissors back. We are going to take one side and we're going to cut it off much closer to the board, because we're going to do something that's called fusing, which is going to be to take our lighter, heat up one side, heat up the other side, be sure to get both sides good and hot and melty, and then stick them to each other without burning yourself. And this fuses them together. Hold them for just a few seconds, touching, and then you can pick up your pliers and kind of pinch them together. And now you have made a fuse, and that is virtually unbreakable. I won't say you won't be able to break it, but it is virtually unbreakable. And that has gathered that together. Even though we don't have as much to work with over here, we're going to cut the very ends off because we do want it to be like fresh rope right here. So I'm cutting just the very ends off of this one. Toss them away. And now I'm going to pick up our lighter again and heat up both sides. Be careful not to burn yourself, please, because it is very easy to do with this stuff. Get both sides nice and melty. Touch them together. Hold them long enough for them to stay. Just a few seconds. And then you pick up your pliers and pinch them. And now they're bonded. This one didn't bond quite as well, but it's bonded enough. So now you've got a handle on there. And what I am going to do is pull it back so that these kind of lay flat right there. And then I'm going to take a piece of tape and I am going to lay it across these. I have not done that on the other side yet. I just pretty much put it together. And this is going to be wrinkly, but it's going to kind of reinforce and hold down that. So now you've got the handle on this side. So, ta-da! There's your handle. Laid down and perfect. Now I'm going to pick up the other side and I'm going to lay down that piece of tape as well across these. Okay, now I'm going to pause and get set up for the. Hey y'all, it's Editing Kimberly again. I hope you enjoyed this part of this series on how to create your own art portfolio for under $20. And I have figured out that there will be a part 3 and a part 4. In part 3, I will show you how to attach the two sides to each other. And then in part 4, I will show you how to do the closures on this portfolio. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel. If you have been around and haven't subscribed, I'm asking you please also subscribe. And please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, because your likes help get me noticed and help my channel to grow. And we definitely need to grow around here. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying yourself. And if you have any comments or questions, please put them down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.